The word chakra means wheel. And this wheel draws in energy. You can't give anything to it to make it love you more. You can't add or subtract from God. You can't add or subtract from love. Love is as love does and always will be. Right? People who live according to this, who cannot control themselves in this part of their world, are living in hell. When you face the world with this part of the body, you give birth to equations that must be solved. You don't give birth to solutions, you give birth to equations that must be solved. And what is the gospel? The gospel is good news of victory. What are we victorious over? And victory in war. What is this war that we have fought? We have fought sin. We have fought the bondage of the devil. This one, and this one, and this one. For as much as the Almighty is 3 in 1 and 1 in 3, the devil as well is 1 in 3 and 3 in 1 in you. Define Moses. And how do you see that God is with you? And it's a funny thing, we see it all the time. There shall come forth a rod from the stem of Jesse. It's not the book which is important, it's the word. Okay, so Isaiah 11. From verse 1 to the end of verse 2. And this speaks about the 7 spirits of God. So these 7 spirits of God are represented by, wow, we need 5 candles. Yeah. These 7 spirits of God are the 7 chakras: the crown chakra, third eye, throat chakra, heart chakra, solar plexus, sacral chakra, and the root chakra, right? And in all these chakras passes through the will of God. In all these chakras passes through experiences. These are these 7 seals that are spoken about in Revelation, that our brother, Christ, who is Christ like us, shall open. And these 7 chakras, or these 7 seals, as Christ are my brothers, we must open. And now these 7 spirits, which started as 1, and then became 2, and then became 3, and then became 7. They say, there shall come forth a rod from the stem of Jesse. The same rod that Abba was talking about. The path of the Inga and the Binga. Yes. The staff. Right? As man is standing like this, he's spine. Right? And along this path are then these 7 seals. And these seals house the Spirit of God. Or they are the chains which lock those rooms for nothing else to come.
In the book of Ezekiel, they call them the wheels within wheels.
The chakras.
Revolving around other wheels, but all in their own direction without disturbing each other's course.
Exactly. If you read the Hindu system, right, that book that you had, Satyapati, this is Satyapati, and the Bhagavad as well, talk about that a chakra, the word chakra means wheel, and this wheel draws in energy, right? So, and a branch shall grow out of its roots. So, what grows up as well must get grounded. And once it grows up and gets grounded, it must grow out, like these branches. The Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him. That's one.
One.
The Spirit of wisdom and understanding. Two. The Spirit of counsel and might.
4, 5.
The Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord. The first is the Spirit of the Lord. The last is the Spirit of the fear of the Lord.
But see, you will see with fear.
Yes.
Awe. Explain that.
The awe, because this thing is great, you cannot do anything but bow. You can't give anything to it to make it love you more. You can't add or subtract from God. You can't add or subtract from love. Love is as love does and always will be. Right? And this Spirit of the Lord, who is the Spirit of wisdom, and we then hear that you understand things. And then the counsel and might, the heart and the solar plexus. Because in your heart, it's something that's there speaks to you. In our hearts. And if you love the world, you will speak the word. And if you love the Spirit, you will speak the Spirit. And once the word of the Spirit is with you, you are the word. And no one can take it away from you. From there is a spirit of knowledge. Because you must taste something, and for it to get there, you now know what it's like. You can eat something that you are allergic to. If you do not know that you are allergic to it, you will know once it reaches your stomach. That's the spirit of knowledge. And the awe, or the eternal, everlasting love of the Lord, of peace. Because the peace, when there's peace here and you respect it, down there, you do not. Like Abba was saying, that a lot of people, they fight this peace inside of them because of this lower region. This lower region gives us problems. There are many people who were saying, when you face the world with this part of the body, you give birth to equations that must be solved. You give birth to solutions. You give birth to equations that must be solved. And if we do fear the Almighty, or respect eternally inside of us the Almighty, we will have the Almighty peace. And now this peace is like this altar, with everything put together in its perfect order, just like the world was when it was created. But after the word came light. That light. This light. The 7 lights that light up all the regions of the body. And now, all these 7 spaces, they house our 12 experiences. And all these 12 experiences either have to do with the Spirit of the Lord or the lack thereof. the spirit of wisdom and understanding, or the lack thereof, the spirit of counsel and might, which is truth. Truth must push you with power. If it does not, the lies will keep you weak and doubtful. The truth must be your driving force. Truth must push you. Truth must be the strongest thing that you have in your life so that you may have mind. If you do not,
lies will make you weak.
Lies will make you weak. And how do these lies make you weak? When you thought you were firm, another can come and make you fall. And that is the lies. Because truth is like a tree that is planted with very deep roots. All the winds can come, the floods may come, and all these things are created by the Almighty. But if you are not one with the Almighty, if you are not in the Almighty, and the Almighty is not in you, all those floods are going to tear you down. All those winds are going to blow you away like the wicked who were blown away, who are like the chaff in Psalm 1. And once you have the truth, and the truth gives you power, it gives you strength to stand upright like this rod, you will then have the knowledge. And this knowledge is not knowledge of worldly things, for things of the world shall die like we die. Things of the world are tied to sin. Things of the world make us slaves. A king is not born in the world, a king is born on the altar. Psalm 2. A king is born on the altar and is born without mother and father. A prince is born with a mother and father. Then that prince, just like a Melchizedek priest, is taken out of his people to go and do the works according to the works of the Almighty. And now this knowledge is going to make you respect it. Whether you like it or not, when you know something is good and it is undefilable, you don't have a choice but to respect it. But those who do not have the knowledge of the Almighty, every single time you help someone, that person is going to come back and stab you. Because they do not fear, they do not respect eternally inside themselves the Spirit of the Lord, the Spirit of your highest ideals. Then those you set goals for yourself, and once you don't stick to them, you have lost the respect of the Lord. So this Lord, since we say this Bible is about one man, you, the person, right? Everything that is in here is an aspect of you. So even all of these, as I've explained, all these spirits are spirits which you must embody. That's why they are in your body. You must embody these spirits. And by saying we embody the Spirit of Christ, we are Christ. In us dwells divinity. I know the Catholic Church and the church that we grew up in, the Ethiopian Church, have two ways of describing the nature of Christ. The Catholic Church says Christ, or Jesus Christ, is born divine, that his mortal body was just a tool in jail. It has no significance. That they focus on his divinity and not his humanity. Where we are from, the universal church, it's all universal. That's the thing.
Well, there's the Catholic Church, which is universal, and then there's the Orthodox Church, which is the true church.
The true church. But the true church is the body of man. And that is why all the teachings that come from the Orthodox Church
teach about your body.
Teach about your body. I just shared a book with and they share in everyday knowledge. They share books of the Bible which are not in the Bible, like they are in the Bible. Like we have here, we have books. But this one, Gospel of Philip, talks about the matrimony of God. The Gospel of James, the Gospel of James, Gospel of Thomas, the apparent Gospel of Jesus Christ. Inside. Wow. You know, and all these Gospels, and what is a Gospel? A Gospel is good news of victory. What are we victorious over? And victory in war. What is this war that we have fought? We have fought sin. We have fought the bondage of the devil. This one, this one, and this one. For as much as the Almighty is 3 in 1 and 1 in 3, the devil as well is 1 in 3 and 3 in 1 in you. For we all have 3 aspects inside our body, our higher self, our middle self, and our lower self. During the day I was explaining that when we grow as children, lower processes of our body, when we had ourselves physically, because we are still having a physical experience. All children are like animals. They eat, they sleep, they shit, and repeat. And then we, people of the age of this body, for I'm immortal, the people of the age of this body, when they get hurt, and that child was told, hey, don't run, wow, man. Naturally, at this stage, our parents and our peers tell us, hey, don't run, you get hurt. And when we get hurt in the heart. But unlike the child who gets hurt and falls and cuts them off and runs, we get hurt very bad. Because this place is the altar of the Almighty.
That's where we start brewing regrets.
Exactly. We start to hold things. It stops being an altar of the Almighty, this, and becomes a box where you lock things up. There's an altar. It's funny. It says there's an altar and Pandora's box. And those two things are on 2 polar sides. Right? In the altar,
there's everything.
There's everything.
In order.
And
wow.
And
okay, now I get the Pandora's box.
You see, and when Pandora's box, when you read Greek mythology, when Pandora's box was open, all things of disorder came out. So you see, we open this ark, this altar, and good things come out. We open Pandora's box, all negative things come out.
Very fun.
This is that box. Like I said, that when the Almighty was one, we were in union with the Almighty, but then we separated the Almighty from us and took him to heaven. Took him separate from us. God became 2. And then when the union came back together, when man and woman met, when spirit and body met again, God became 3 and Christ was 4. And then after that 3 became 7. The 7 spirits of the Almighty. And it is these 7 spirits that said, let us create man in our image. These are the 7 gods, the 7 Elohim that created man. Because it says in Genesis, let us create man in our image. And what image is this? The image of the Spirit of the Lord. The image of wisdom and understanding, the image of counsel and might, the image of knowledge and the fear of God. And a perfect man, the Adam, the perfect man. For we are all Adam when we have reached the state that we have reached to be created by these 7 spirits, to be like these 7 spirits. Because when we are like the spirits, we are like God. Right? The perfect Adam became one again after these 7. And then he separated himself from God. And became 2 again. You see, this cycle is a never-ending cycle. But before we are born, there's only 2 in the world that exist, our mothers and fathers. But when we are conceived, when we are created, all 7 of our ancestors, there is Uba Okzalai. There is uNkulunkulu, there is ukhokho, there is ukhokho, there is ukhulu, there is uNkulunkuluwane, and then there is uNkulunkulu. So uNkulunkulu is not even a Christian word. But this uNkulunkulu is the culmination of all seven spirits. Like I said, it starts from your father and it ends with God. And when our parents come together to conceive us, this two that creates the three must then work together with that seven to make this being that we know, this child of Levi, this child of Judah, this child of Ojamas. Then that being, that Horus, when it rises, it will again become one. And then the cycle will start all over again. But we must strive, we must push ourselves to be one with all things in the world and all things in the universe, even those that we do not see. For in the world and the perceivable world, there is the energy that flows through all things. And this energy that flows through all things flows through us. It flows through the trees. It flows through the rocks. It flows through the ants and the flies and the dogs and the hogs and the cows and the pigs and the chickens. But this energy knows what work it is there for. A cow knows its job and it will never stray from its job. A dog knows its job and will never stray from its job. A rock, that one unmovable thing, it doesn't move because it knows its job. It cannot move. Because we need to build our houses on solid foundation. So the rock that we build upon cannot move, and that rock must be Christ.
First Corinthians.
Yeah, he's
And that rock was Christ. Even our forefathers did follow him in the desert. In the pillar of smoke by day, the pillar of fire by night.
First Corinthians 10. Moreover, brethren, I do not want you to be unaware that all our fathers were under the cloud, all passed through the sea, all were baptized into Moses in the cloud and in the sea. All ate the same spiritual food and drank the same spiritual drink. They drank of the spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Christ. And I remember in the cave, we were sitting amongst cold stones. And I said to Goga that after the teaching, we must be able to extract the essence of the stone, be able to see umoya ophakathi kwetshe. The spirit in the rock. They drank from a rock. That is not physically possible. They had to, out of that which is a solid foundation, out of them, it brought them living waters. And remember, by that time, Jesus was not born when they were going with Moses. So it cannot be Jesus who was with them. It was Christ. For all of them are the houses of the Spirit.
Moses.
Exactly. And Moses was chosen by the Almighty to do the works of the altar.
Define Moses. Moses, drawn from the water. Who here was not born from the womb with water?
Exactly.
So we are all Moses in our essence, in our birth. Everybody came from a womb with water. But it is that experience of the womb with water, it is the experience of our birth that birthed us into Egypt, into captivity, into a physical slavery, this physical body. And we forgot about God and we focused on Pharaoh, the evil king. But when they left Egypt and were baptized in the Red Sea, they were baptized again into Moses. because they were again drawn from the waters in the Red Sea, like baptism. That's all.
And that foundation that we found after that also be. And baptism, I think people have been baptizing for too long for the wrong reasons. And I will feel this because they come out the same. And you cannot come out the same after you are baptized. For this man here, when he died, in a morning, he died. See this man? You know this man, eh? Okay. See this man. He died. You see? It's Jesus. He's dying. Number one, born to see our direct yourself, open. And when he died, he became that which is not physical. He became that which is not physical. See? That's the bar, the soul. They call it the bar in Egypt. Here it is here. The egg with the wings. From death to everlasting life. From body to spirit. From body to spirit. And then what the first one I showed you. It's me.
From base metal to gold.
From base metal to gold, the alchemy of life. From we need Maruna, this one here. And the reason why I love it, and where my father's family is from, this is very special. And I think in many places where the trees grow and there's kings, the Maruna, they crush it and make beer out of it, just like Mukumbu. So you're taking something physical and drawn the essence out of it. But the essence, I can squish this and get it out. There's something beyond that you still want to get out. And that thing, it does not end up here. Like that essence, if I squeeze it, it goes up here. That's why I didn't need it. Because whatever I took out from there, I transformed into gold. Into spirit. That is why alcohol is called spirits. Alcohol in Arabic is a spirit. And that is why I'm saying that people have been baptizing far too long for nothing. For when you die and you are raised, for resurrection, you must die when you are living. So that when you die physically, that which is inside your body that cannot die rises and is left here while your body goes down here, where it belongs in the lower recesses of life. And because we have become baptized far too long for no reason, these waters are no more living. Amanzi amnyama. Amanzi amhlophe, and the waters of life become now the waters of death. Because when someone speaks something into water and puts their intention there, that water is alive with that intention. That is why we pray for the water and the water heals. Basic science. Nothing supernatural.
Japanese Dr. Omoto.
Yeah. It's nothing, to pray for water is nothing special. What's special is the knowledge of what we are doing. Because for physical things shall perish. Right? And these waters have become poisoned waters for us because our societies are still the same like this. There are thousands of priests baptizing people every weekend. The people are dying from thirst. Imagine you go into water and then you die from thirst. And when we are dying from thirst, we are dying from knowledge or lack of knowledge. We are dying from lack of might. We are dying from lack of wisdom. We are dying from lack of the fear of or the everlasting respect of that which is good and inside of us. But then also we are dying because the Almighty is there while we are here. You do something, you can be the best person in the whole universe your whole life. Then don't you do something wrong one time, hey, God does this. He knows he does that. No, you were good. You did everything you needed to do. You passed all your initiations. The moment you step out of the Holy of Holies, this perfect house of the Almighty goes way back here. Okay, let's see what's going to happen. Because once the Almighty steps out, 7, remember, Almighty is 7 spirits in you. When the Almighty steps out, another 7 comes in. And that 7, you will never get out ever again. When one demon comes out, it will call its other friends. And they come back into you, there will be 7 of them. And they will be housed in the same houses that the 7 spirits of God are supposed to be housed in. And God doesn't like competition, He's a jealous God. He won't fight. He's going to stand over here. I believe in He's still with you. And how will you see that God is with you? And it's a funny thing, we see it all the time. 1, fear, which ends up into weakness. Those are the children of doubt. Those are the children of iniquity. Because eventually, after you have taken those children and made them your own, you will be bound into slavery. Those children are not your equal. One day they will want to be your masters. You can beat one master. Try 7 of them. And that is why the Almighty, when the Almighty is one, don't. Because the Almighty will like, hi, you beat me. Thank you. I'm going. Those 7 are not going to say that. That is why we need to exhaust those 7. We need to take them out with prayers. We need to take them out with water. We must even go and baptize you. Because they don't want to leave. And now these demons are here. And once they come from here, they go here. Like we said, the Pandora's box. They go to the heart. And in the heart, we lock everything in. Siyabamba ngenhliziyo. Inhliziyo igcina seyenzani, your heart ends up being heavy. Doesn't allow you to rise, it pulls you down to here. And once you're in here, you are in a living hell. People who live according to this, who cannot control themselves in this part of their world, are living in hell. Because here is a space where whatever happens wrong here comes back up here. Whatever is wrong down there is going to come back and affect you here.